Hello, everyone. Welcome to the party. I've decided to go live early. Yes, I know the bedroom's being used, so that is just the way it is. But I've sent out a few messages. Hopefully I can get, maybe one person to turn up. You never know. I know it's late. Well, it's 7:10, and I decided to make myself a coffee so I could stay awake. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I've been able to rustle up some people's. I know this is an early message, but thank you, Sophie Dad. That's just awesome. Well, you're most likely not here at the minute, but you were here before. But we'll see how we go. We can only try these things, can't we? Been some interesting occurrences on the Brew DeFi. Oh, geez. Yeah, BrewFi. What is Brew DeFi? Oh, I don't know. I give up. On their Discord. Been some surprising things. G'day, Sophie Dad. Thank you very much for joining. It's greatly appreciated I don't see you here as such, but up there I see. Why am I always backwards? Must be my camera. Bloody works in reverse. Well, that's a good point because the window there. I'll give up. Why is it that I point? Oh, right. Yes, I see now. Got to learn these things. You don't know what I'm going on about, but it's because the chat column is on the right-hand side of the screen, and like my window's on the left-hand side of me, but on the screen it's on the right-hand side of me, but I'll point to the window and I'll point to the window, but I try and point to the chat which is that I do this, but it's actually on this side. So it's just messes with your head. It's just the one's on the computer and the other thing's obviously what the camera sees. So it just makes it all sort of messed up. Seifu Dad, were you in Brewed Coffee Discord? Did you see the visitor that was in there? Did you see what was going on at all? And because been some interesting sort of developments, nothing too major, but interesting. I'm sure I'll get to talk more about that very soon. Chalk's expecting me to be on in 45 minutes time, so she's away from her messages, so I haven't been able to get her because she's, with all intents and purposes, she's going to join us. I don't know if anyone else will, but like, I'll put the call out there and see what I get. You just never know. Got to try these things. So, anything you would like to discuss? Did you have a look at me calves? I posted a video on TikTok, and I will share the screen with it. I haven't prepared this, so I'll probably have to update it, but which I have to, but you'll see what's happened. I got a community guidelines violation on a video that I just posted. You know the stupid thing about it, though? I'll show you the video, but I'll have to, I'll show you some of the video, but I'll have to show you on a different platform. I'll have to use YouTube. But it's an absolute joke. So obviously I've submitted a review on it. But this is I'll just go to YouTube. I'll have to go down to videos because it's a long video. Now, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this is the video. right, that's enough of that. Now, that is all it is. Just me unloading the hay. Like, go figure. And the music was TikTok's music, but apparently I violated the community guidelines. Now, I'd like to know how the hell I managed to do that. Like, you see the amount of shit that's on TikTok, and just that video violated their community guidelines. Okay. Didn't want to listen. Sometimes we have to. Yep. Well, fortunately, we didn't have to listen. Yo. Oh, why? Chalk saying she can't join. Oh, man. I'm stuck here all by myself again. Why? How am I supposed to get anyone to watch me now? Sophie, Dad? It's a flipping challenge, isn't it? Yeah. Try we must. Well, I'm not succeeding at all today. You do know that if I have to leave here, I've got to go out into the living area, whatever you want to call it. And they're making noise there that I just can't stand with my head. Hence why I've got these things on. So, yeah. If anyone has anything that I would like to discuss, well, let's give it a go. I'm waiting for Chalk to tell me why she can't make it. Maybe I'm just too early for everyone. Yo, he's awake. I'll see if I can get some company. This is called Last Minute Arrangements. Oh. I bet you I'll get a no. See how negative that is? That's just like wrong. I might get a yeah, I'd love to. Just waking up. So I said, you want to come on live now? Need someone to talk to. I can only try, can't I? Ah, cool. He's going to join us. There you go. Fly him a link. He's got to make a coffee first. And then sing us a song. Milky, you've got to send me a wallet address, even your friends, or send in mine, whatever, so I can give you 100 calf. Because there's 3 people that didn't send their wallets in, unless, of course, you don't care about $1 worth of calf. Sorry, I had to work it out. We cracked a cent again, so the only way is up. There's a song for you. The only way is up. Yeah, I'm not a singer. I've got the most horrible voice when it comes to trying to do stuff like that. I live in Australia and I can't even cooey properly. I don't get the pitch at the end, the wee. It doesn't work. So, yeah, I don't get that. Oh, will ya? Oh, maybe I don't want to be a friend. That would be great, Milky. Thank you. Of course, I'm only joking. Don't take my words seriously. I tend to do that a lot. Some people just you've got the why you showed me. My daughter's there and she's bloody gone. We play this game of bloody each other and there you go. I know, violent family. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still waiting. There is some serious reasons to why she can't, but I'm not going to say that on here. Her herself is fine. Don't get me wrong. Yes, she's perfectly fine. So don't get all stressed. But yeah, there's most likely a very good reason. But I do have a visitor coming shortly. Milky, you want to join us on live stream as well? I don't know if you want to without Chalk being here. I don't know. Do you want to? I'll just ask you. The conversation is kind of like, who knows what it's going to be, though. I'm sure it's not bad though. Like I don't like do that, but I can't guarantee it's any good. Don't know. Sort of just got to go with whatever, I suppose. But if you do, or you can't. Oh, far out, Brussels sprout. I just can't take a trick, can I? I'm on a site visit at the moment. Why? What do you do, Milky? What is a site visit? Are you a builder or something like that? Because I can't remember what you said before, except for the stuff about Property Flex, but I can't remember what you personally did. So obviously, I'm a farmer. I'm a little bit behind on what you're up to. Yeah, I had a feeling. Well, obviously, if you're doing a site visit, that's what I sort of gathered. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Good stuff. I'm sure you would have said that, no doubt, when you joined us live last time. But excuse my inability to remember everything. Yeah, it's going to be a lot different, I'm sure. No, seriously, where we are now is just stuck in no man's land. Really, it's really this ex-Seifu community is just beaten up, and people aren't feeling it. I know that there's some maxis out there that are doing their thing or whatever, but yeah, I know. The feelings I get is just that the place is beaten up. I don't know what Property Flex is still going to do going forward. So I'm presuming they're just hoping that Vulcan does their thing because they're utilising the capacity of the rebasing of the blockchain. But who knows what's going to happen there at this minute? Because of course for the Calves has lots of sacrifice. Well, when I say lots, like not lots as far as a lot of holders go, but for the project it's lots. Because most of the money is in there that I've raised for Cause of the Calves and to utilise the rebasing aspect. And don't know. We all know what rebases do, but you just sort of hope that it doesn't get too deflationary. I don't know. Or inflationary, or whatever you want to call it, deflationary because the price goes down. Yeah, I just don't know. Like the whole damn thing at the moment is just a scrambled mess in my head where I just don't know whether it's it's been too many months. So I just was finding it too difficult to have any thought on whether it's what could possibly happen. I'd be surprised even if we get it. And the rate that the conversation is at the minute with Plan B, I don't know. It just doesn't look right to me. You can't tell me, well, in my opinion, that the team didn't know all this shit. I don't know. I just don't want to get into too much speculation and shit, but I don't know. It's just a mess. I just wish they had have come out and done a proper live stream and started actually do some disclosures and stuff, but it just seems like the more days go past, the more they're trying to turn it into something they want us to see, like manipulate it. They see too much Seifu Dad disappear. I'm a bit behind on some of your things. I can't really work it out, Seifu Dad. Maybe it's because they see too much Seifu Dad disappear. Why did my phone just do Bixby? I never use it. And then it just decides to pop up now and use it. It's a Samsung, so it's a so yeah. Now, I'm not quite up to speed on exactly your line of conversation, Seifu Dad. Please don't take offence. I'm just not quite. I don't have someone here to bump it off to work out what. Sometimes me and reading text messages is kind of It's one of my maybe not so strong points. It seems to be where I quite easily take things the way that it's not meant to be. Yeah. So I'm not really too sure. But hopefully you don't disappear. You're one of my only viewers. We should have our guest ready soon. Then we'll see what happens. Oh, but you're not stealthy anymore, Leon. You've let the cat out of the bag. You're exposed. It's about time you come on live stream, Leon. Would you do that one day? I don't know. Aha, we got a guest. Watch out, everyone. Here we go. Should I do it? All right, fine, I'll do it. And we have him, Mr. Burning Duck. You've gone quiet. You got to turn you got to be unmuted or something. We cannot hear you at all. That was a bit of a fizz out of an intro, wasn't it?
How about
that? There he goes. He's getting louder.
Oh, I got to move some stuff, though. Okay, there we go. My duck was in the way.
Your duck was in the way? Say for your dad. Well, as you know, of course you know, we're moving to Grove. We're going to have a lot more marketing on Grove, which is something that everyone keeps going yay about. Sorry, I've got a screwdriver. Hi, Ellie. Thank you very much for joining. Absolute wonderful. And you were on our previous live stream as well, so thank you. So we're going to be exposed to a new community. We're going to have apparently live streams with one or more of the team, like the CEO and most likely someone to do with marketing or whatever, to do with to be able to present CAF and what we do to their community. So their live streams, and of course there'll be that's the start anyway. So there'll be, as soon as, like, it's bloody difficult just to find people that are straight up, but NFT stuff is still a challenge to me to get that sorted. But there'll obviously be some different things like that being done for CAF. So that, I would presume, like, obviously anyone in my position is going to say, yeah, CAF is going to be great. I would presume that CAF, well, in my opinion, isn't going anywhere. So, like bad, it's not going to disappear. It's going to do its thing. And hopefully, like, over time, we're going to have at least a bit more brand awareness, and just, and when the market tends to pick up a bit, hopefully we're prepared, ready for a bit of a pick-me-up, as a lot of cryptos are in that same position. So that's obviously I make no promises and hopes, or I'm not trying to build up hopes and dreams or anything like that. It's just Bernie Duck will tell me if I'm right or wrong with that attitude, but it is what it is.
More cows.
Yeah. So how are you, Mr. Bernie Duck?
Oh, I'm just waking up, man. I got my coffee. The Duck household is in a state of emergency. I realized we were out of sugar. So, I'm making do right now. Coffee without sugar, but it's okay because I put a little extra espresso into it, so it should be fine.
It's 7:40 in the morning, and you're just waking up. Hey, that's a hard life.
Yeah, I crawled out of bed around, I don't know, about an hour ago, and walked around, stared outside for a little while, talked to the wife some, and then I opened up the laptop and saw that you were on. So I was like, man, nothing's better than coffee with an Aussie.
Well, actually, I had a coffee, but mine's all empty now.
Nothing like coffee at 8 o'clock at night over there?
Yeah, I had one now just so I could sort of stay awake a bit. Because I was like, I haven't had a nap today, so my brain's not really feeling that great, but it's all right at the minute, so I'll just go with it. That's why I needed a bit of
how are the cows?
Here. Yeah, good. Yeah, and Chuck's doing really good. So yeah, we're on a winner at the moment. So tomorrow for us is a huge day. It's our weaning day, and so we got heaps of paddocks to draft out and to drench and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's a very, very big day tomorrow dealing with cattle. Well, bigger calves.
Now, is there a treat that a cow likes? Because I know a horse will eat an apple, a horse will eat a peppermint. Is there something that a cow will like? If you had this, the cow would be like, "Oh man, I'm in love with you."
When you grow veggies in your garden, like for instance, you grow a corn plant, they absolutely love the corn plant itself. Like you take your corn off it and then you just give them the plant and they love it. They go crazy over that stuff. Corn is something that cattle really like.
Just bring them over here because they would go totally apeshit where I live because it's nothing but cornfield after cornfield, soybean field, cornfield.
Yeah, that's what they do in the States. There's a lot of feed stuff, just corn. So yeah, corn's a very big thing over there.
And I could tell it's all feed corn too, right? So
yeah. Not so much here. We mainly have things like lupins, like legumes and stuff. Lupins and of course the grains, like the wheat and oats and stuff like that for different things. But that's all blended to make the grain that we feed the calves, the pelletized grain, which is a mixture of oats and lupins and whatever other stuff they chuck in it. But we get our protein from lupins, whereas you guys, your feed stuff seems to be a lot more corn feed, just because of the abundance of corn in the States, and soybeans and stuff like that, where your governments have incentive for farmers to be able to grow those crops.
Let's see. I'm looking at your stats for the morning. 52,523 market cap. Okay.
What stats is that for?
169 holders this morning.
Oh, yeah, because I did a giveaway, so I'm making it harder for myself. Yeah, well, it's more airdrops for me to do, isn't it, when it comes to doing the next token? So, and because it's such a small amount, got to do manual airdrops. So of course, like it's another, I don't know, half a dozen wallets or something extra that I have to do now that didn't have calf in it before. So it's like, yeah, great. But that's all right. I got another that's all right. Bless you.
So, I mean, you can't have a contract written where it could automate the airdrop for you?
Yeah, of course you can, but it costs you a fortune. It's like $300 just to do 160 odd people. It's just crazy amount of money. You might as well spend it. It took me just over an hour to do it manually last time because it's all just cut and paste. The biggest time is just going through, because I use the cold wallet. You got to go through all the approvals, every single transaction. And so, you got to press it half a dozen times to get the transaction through, and then you just got to wait for it to happen, and then you can move on to the next one. That's the biggest thing that takes time is not so much the cut and paste, but using the cold storage. You've got the extra steps to do with to get it done.
Now, did you ever talk to Grove about that conversation you and I had? And if so, what came of that?
Well, I haven't even heard a word yet. I've passed it on, but I haven't heard nothing yet. I'm still waiting.
What's wrong with those guys, man? Don't they know who you are?
Well, I spoke to Jace, who's the main driver of it, because he's best mates with the owner. And he said, just wait, just hold your horses, don't stress. So I was like, yeah, no worries, I'll just wait. No, I just want to hurry up and get across there, like just get it done and start the process going.
Yeah, I mean, when you're making a transition, you're ready for that transition to happen, as soon as possible. So
yeah, especially when actually there's been stuff sent away to the devs to do the new token, and that is a specific dev thing that might need to be incorporated into it. So it'd actually be good to have that discussion just to know whether it is or isn't. So, but at this stage, no, I'd have no idea. But I've certainly passed that on. It sounds like a great idea. I think I'd really like to do it. I certainly do not see any negative side, and I only see positive side. So I just, I'm all for it. But of course, we just got to wait and see, don't we? But unfortunately, the waiting bit is just a bit longer than what we thought. So cool, the more the merrier. Thanks for joining, everyone. Correct. Thank you, guys, everyone, for whoever comes on. Thank you. And if you have any questions or topics, subject,
comments,
direction, anything at all,
absolutely.
I'll change to this topic for a second. I don't know, how do I say it? He calls himself more or less a martyr, but in our community, you say he's the master scammer, who retired from crypto and that sort of has, good bags. He came into what we call the Fudders chat, or the brew, as you know, and he was in there supposedly answering questions, but he's one of the very few that actually got banned just a short time ago from Major Arsehole, or someone banned him, but Major Arsehole put up a statement saying that he's now banned, but it's because, number one, we won't give a scammer a platform to brainwash more people. Number two, he broke the only rules we have in here, which is being a scammer, and B, being a scammer, and B, threatening others about locking down this server. I'm not sure how that works, but I haven't seen all the conversations. That's not going to happen, because the sole purpose of this server is to educate communities and spread awareness in this space and expose scums like Brian, plus Brian has alts lurking here already. we know that, and has them for months now. He's seen everything we're doing and is on here all day. So locking the server not only defeats the purpose of this server, but also serves no purpose whatsoever. So that was a statement that Major Arsehole put on there. And yeah, but Brian was in the Seifu Vulcan chat talking supposedly there to you could just see it so clearly where it was just trying to just talk shit about, you know, all of the way he was answering stuff was just trying to whitewash everything, you know, just change the narrative to suit his own agenda. And it's not actually answering any questions. It was just all poof in the wind. It's nothing. It's just typical politician sort of shit, you know, not actually getting on with the realness of what's going on. And so it's good that I've seen him present that statement and actually with the band. So that's good, because you just don't need that shit just talking crap like that. You got to get on with doing your investigations or continuing on it and present that evidence to whoever you can present it to hopefully get something done about it. And there you go, Mr. Rugburn.
Well, I was actually just looking in your Discord and I saw that you could play Connect 4 in there.
Yeah, I'll put a whole heap of stupid game things in there, but yeah, whatever. You just sort of you just mess around with. I've never had any incentives. Like normally Discords will do stuff like that and I will put on like incentives to do things and that, but I've just never gone down that road of, you know, trying to run XP sort of things and that. I don't get off on that. The XP stuff in Discords, I don't like it in a way that it creates an us and them, or the haves and have nots type of community. You know, like for argument's sake, someone that's got the commitment and the hours to do stuff is obviously going to far outweigh someone who is obviously doing work and, you know, doing the real stuff in life, you know. So I don't like putting that divide in the community. I like to have everyone feel equal and welcome, you know, like, and not put a divide in. I was in a Discord a long time ago that run a lot of XP stuff. And yeah, it was great for me. I had the most XP, but mine was through just sheer hard work, lots and lots of chatting. But you could just see that it was just creating a community of haves and have-nots, or us and thems, or call it whatever you want. You know, but that's what it was doing. And I just don't like that myself. But for little gamey stuff, then whatever.
Now, one time, wasn't Jared going to come on here? Did Jared, did he ever come on here, Jared from Rev Token?
Well, I have a bit of a story to say about that. I sort of spat me dummy. Hey?
I said, well, let's hear it.
I sort of spat me dummy a bit this morning because they, as much as it's not, I know that it's not like a partnership. I get that. But they've got this, I'm trying to find there we go. I want to get the words right. Right. Yeah, basically all they've done is a server invite link swap with a server, but the server that they've done it with is the one token. And so I've asked him to remove everything to do with calf and cause for the calves from his server, because I just don't want to be anywhere near him. And I explained the situation to him briefly, and I haven't had a response from that. When I say briefly, it's like a full screen on my phone of sentences, so it's quite long. But
one token's on the Vulcan blockchain, isn't it, or whatever?
Yeah, but you know that I was the original contract owner of one token, yeah?
Did not know that, no.
Right. And they colluded with the other half owner. Okay, I'll call him a half owner, even though I had the contract and all that sort of stuff. That's Oliver. He colluded with. He was getting information from Arms, and without Oliver being any the wiser, because unfortunately he isn't very wise. Lucky played his cards and sold his bag, which was a very big bag, because he was the number one holder. And he was saying to Oliver that it was me that was doing the dumping, but it wasn't. It was actually himself. And that was proven on the blockchain. It's not hard. You just go back to the 10th or whatever of April and you can see it. It's all there still, obviously, because the blockchain stays there for good. And I even got all the messages of me sending it to Oliver going, because I was watching the cells happen and I'm just telling him what was happening, but he wouldn't listen to me because he was listening to Lucky Charms. And then he posts these stupid messages in his Discord saying that stop buying the token, everyone, because Keith is rug pulling us and all this shit. And yet I wasn't doing a single thing. Like, I never sold nothing then. It was nothing at all. And all it was to do was Lucky Charms is now in there with Oliver as the new team. And all it was leverage to get me out of the picture, like to get the token, to get the contract, and so they could take full possession of it. And they even used Brian, as you know, aka Brian Legend, in on the act. They posted him a wallet to use as evidence, which wasn't even my wallet, that shit was going on, but that wallet consequently didn't do anything anyway. There was a nothing wallet. So because of all the lies and the deceit and basically using the community to essentially steal the contract off me, it was like, I'm not going to have nothing to do with them. Fuck them. Anyone that does have anything to do with them, you can go for it. You can, that's your thing. That's your prerogative. You can do it, but I'll have nothing to do with you because I just don't care. I'm not interested. I just don't want to go there. So that's the reason why I feel a little bit serious in my ways.
That's some good information to have. I didn't know the backstory was good. So
yeah, everything I have is in. I've got all the message history. It's extensive. Bloody hell! Like, it will take me ages to find particular screenshots of shit, but I've got everything on my phone and computer to be able to verify everything I say. So, and it's very easy to, obviously the blockchain information is still there. So it's very easy to verify what wallets were selling at the top and sold it all the way down. And you'll see, because I can identify the two owners of the wallets, you can see, well, actually three owners of the wallets. You can actually see that they were the people that caused all the massive sale avalanche. And there was whatever other wallets were doing anything were just people that were getting fudded out of it. And they weren't doing it as such. You know, that was just normal reaction from people with, when you get the face of the business, which is Oliver, posting on there that the person holding the contract is rugging it. Well, of course, people are going to go, oh, shit, and sell up. So they just created the avalanche, created the shitstorm just to achieve what they wanted, which was to get the contract. So I got basically duped out of it. And, yeah, so I just want nothing to do with them or their space. I'm just not interested. So if someone else wants something to do with them, that's great. But they're a nothing project. They got nothing to offer, and it's just a complete waste of time. And I'm not saying that out of envy or anything like that. Go and research yourself and find out. You'll see that there's no substance to it. They got no. There's nothing there to offer. So you'll see.
I haven't even looked into them yet, so I know absolutely nothing about them. I can't.
Yeah.
Give my opinion one way or
I'm
the
not
other.
here doing a shit can story or anything like that.
But
like I'm not interested.
You haven't deceived me yet, so I have no reason not to believe you. So
well, put it. Yeah, but I'm not here trying to win you what you want to believe or not believe. Like you can work it out yourself. Obviously, I'm happy to provide some information, but that's as far as I go. But there's only limited to what I can bother with because I just don't care. Like, and rightfully so. I'm sure anyone in my position would feel in a similar way, or if not, be more intent on saying no. But I just don't care. Like, they can just have their thing and just they're done. Right? Just got no desire to be anywhere near them. And so when Jared sent that to me, I was kind of probably in a more vulnerable mindset at the point in time where I was kind of a bit pissed off with the whole thing. But I was sort of thinking about it for a few hours, and that's when I sent him a message saying just to remove cause of the calves and that off your server, because I'm just not interested in being associated anywhere near them. So I'm sure,
Well, let's go back a little bit. I'm curious, how did your relationship with Grove even come about? I mean, did you reach out to them? Yeah, did they reach out to you? So how did all that start?
No, one of my guys is the best, like, school friend of an owner.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Last time, yeah.
Yeah. It's not just out of the blue. It's because of a deep-seated connection. Yeah, but plus, like, I know that blockchain is a blockchain, but when you look at their refi stuff, which is, like, I know that whether you go nuts on green or not, well, obviously we're not green as such, but obviously I don't buy into woke and that. I'm a farmer, like, I'm obviously a conservative, but I still, because we do the animal ethics side of stuff, we sort of fit in on that side of it. It doesn't, just because I'm not woke and it doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It just means that we're doing things in a different way. Like, you got to have someone doing animal ethics, otherwise too many people are planting trees. I don't know. You work it out. Like, there has to be, a limit of, the workload's got to be spread around. Like, you can't have everyone just doing the same thing. Like, you can't, like, the government's trying to make it where everyone's going to make their living out of installing solar panels now. There's limited work in anything, any industry. There's limited work. It's not just unlimited. Of course it's limited. So, like, and we're just one aspect of the whole ecosystem for humanity, which is obviously dealing with calves and the ethical side of it, and trying to at least instill some good in the world. That's my thought. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. People seem to think so. I'm talking about people that visit our farm seem to think so, because we. Well, yeah, I know we do it. I know we do a bloody good job.
A common sense standpoint, right?
Well, I would hope so, but of course, we're all, common sense to who? Like, if it was to a mad vegan, then obviously absolutely no way. To a vegetarian, yeah, probably. But to a meat lover, absolutely. Like depends on your viewpoint, I suppose, where you're looking at things from. Everyone has their unique angles that gives them bias.
Yeah, I'm still trying to understand the life of a vegan. I mean, hey, to each their own. I get it. If that's your thing and you're happy with it, I'm happy for you, man. Absolutely. But I don't know. I think we were intended to eat meat, and I believe there's a lot of nutritionists and doctors and everything else out there that would probably tend to agree with that. But
well, your teeth are designed for it.
Absolutely.
That's why you have these ones on the front. They're meat eating teeth. Like we're obviously got a combination of teeth because we eat plants as well. And there's no problem with eating whatever, but like it's all about, in my opinion, just trying to keep it real. But of course, it goes back to my point: real to who? Like if you ask a certain person, obviously their thoughts on real is different than someone else. Like it's not easy trying to get a. That's why you have electoral systems with majorities and stuff like that win, and so hopefully then policies are derived for the masses rather than the few. I know in recent times it seems to be the other way around, but yeah, I don't know. Hi, El Nanny. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
What's up, El Nanny? How you doing, man? Yeah. Now, have you had to deal with any activists or anything like that on your farm? Have you? Has that movement come to you or what?
It was getting very close, but no, not us per se. But yeah, it was getting pretty close. But because they were doing a lot of farm raids and stuff like that on well, essentially this sort of business, like dairy farms. Even though we're not a dairy farm, but we're the next thing to it. Like chicken farms, pig farms. Like all the farms had the activists do their things.
And when you say do their things, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by do their things with the activists?
Infiltrate to cause damage. Like cut fences and do mischievous things on the property.
No, see that's where I lose my mind, right? Because again, don't get me wrong. Everybody has a right to believe in whatever they want to believe in. That's fine. If you want to stand out on the street, public property, with a sign that says whatever you wanted to say, that's your business. It's public property. You have the right to be there. But once you step foot on my property, the game changes drastically. And I don't understand these activists that are under the impression that they have the right to go on to private property, cause damage, and it's no other way around it. It's breaking the law, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
then they go to court and the lefty judges let them off. Like they hardly get a punishment. It's only been in the very recent times now that people are actually starting to get prosecuted correctly and actually get some sort of recourse for their actions. But prior, like really, there's been half a dozen years and progressively getting worse, where an activist could blatantly do criminal acts and yet not get charged with criminal acts. With those said criminal acts, because like, and even when they were facing a judge, it was like they're almost like put up there on a stand to go, your kind should be adored for standing up and doing something. And it's like a judge is saying that it's not legal stuff. Like, just prosecute on the law. But no, they've got to pass down, slap on the wrist type judgments for people doing, I know you in the States have had the same stuff as what we've got here, when it comes to that,
Yeah.
like it's
in a lot of parts of the States. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
back
those
home
blue
where I'm
states.
originally from in Kentucky, that
Yeah.
wouldn't be an issue because there wouldn't be a hearing. I guarantee you, if somebody caught a group of activists on their farmland in Kentucky, there'd be missing person reports filed. Not
So I'm presuming that's a red state, not a blue state. Like, is that because I don't know which states are which, but would that be a red state rather than a blue state?
It goes back and forth, really.
Yeah, it does a bit. Yeah.
But one thing that doesn't go back and forth is the good old boy mentality of our farmers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they tend to handle things a little differently.
But here, we, like, for argument's sake, with firearms, you're not allowed to, like, in the States, I've seen it on the videos and stuff, when you're protecting your property, like, you can display your firearm, you can basically do what you want on your property. But here, you can't use your firearm to threaten or intimidate or to be some sort of distractant, like some sort of deterrent, I should say. You'll be the one that's getting charged if you do that. So you just can't go for your firearm cabinet as a protection device when you live in Australia. It doesn't.
Which is crazy because Australia is an island of criminals originally. Right? I mean, that's how Australia was formed. It was an island where criminals.
Yeah, it was a penal colony.
Yeah. So I mean,
but there's many aspects that we would probably say is really good about Australia that we haven't turned into the little America that many people thought it might. But I know a lot of them say, it's because of the tough firearm regulations and stuff, but it's not really that. It's I know that, like, here it's very, very difficult to, like, own something which is quite common over there, which is like an AR-15. Like, here it's very, very difficult to own one. There's very limited people that can, like station owner or something like that, can, when they can present the justify the need for it. But like myself, I can't, like a normal law-abiding citizen can't access, semi-automatic firearms, even a semi-automatic 22. We're not even allowed to have a pump action shotgun. I've got a lever action shotgun, but you're not allowed to have a pump action. But we used to, when we were a lot younger, we used to have a semi-automatic 22, and it was great. You just go bunny shooting with it, and it was like, and it's just a mess around gun, because the bullets cost nothing, and you just stuff around with it. It's just, when I say stuff around, you're not causing any harm to anyone. Like, they're just fun little gun to shoot.
Well, I mean, the 22 was the gun of choice of the mafia back in the old days for doing their hits with, because you could pop somebody in the back of the head with a 22 and it wouldn't come out the other side of the skull.
Yeah.
It bounced around in the skull real good. So
no, that's right. But like, I've got,
you never know where the conversation's going to go with me when you have me on here. We're not always going to talk cows. Sometimes we're going to talk about 22 shells, bullets bouncing around in people's skulls.
I've got about 7 different firearms. So they're trying to bring in new laws now where we're going to be restricted to like 6, I think, and it's just like, oh, it just drives me nuts. Like how you got to have these stupid restrictions on what you can own. You know, the number of them, because they seem to think that owning 7 is more dangerous than owning 6, and I was like, what makes it more dangerous than just owning one, in the hands of a bad person? Like, and even then, the only things we're allowed to have, like I got just bolt action rifle. I've got a lever action 12 gauge. But everything else is just a bolt action repeater with like 5 shots in the magazine. So it's not like they're like mass casualty sort of, where you could do,
Yeah, you're
bad
not
shit as
toting
such.
around a 30 round banana clip or anything like that.
Yeah, and so it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy where they come up with these new rules and stuff, and
Well,
to
they're
put more
worried
and
you're
more
gonna
restrictions
start
on us.
the calf coin militia or something over there, man. You're gonna get all the cattle farmers together and take over
I
the world. Just a big herd of calves with guns strapped to their back and everything else, man. I could see it happening.
where I am in Western Australia, until I think the 1st of July, that's just gone, we're actually allowed to have 50 BMG here, right? Um, and but now they've outlawed about 15 or something big calibers, um, and they're talking about calibers which are like armor piercing calibers, and it's like, okay, who in for public safety? Okay, so who in the public has armor? like, like, what the hell is that all about? I just don't understand it. No one ever gets shot from them because it's like it just doesn't happen. Like, and no, I thought they might pin down on me because I got a 300 Winchester Win Mag. So it's a big bullet, of course, the 300 Win Mag, and but I just missed the cut. They didn't quite go down to a 300 Win Mag, so it was like, phew, I dodged that one. Probably the biggest caliber that you're allowed to have now in WA. So um, they wiped out a whole heap of good stuff, and now you're just stuck with the rest. So yeah, I don't know. It's just what they do.
Yeah, well, as you know, it's very different over here in the States, man. We're still
Oh yeah.
we're still close to the wild wild west over here compared to everybody else in the world.
We can't have handguns. The only way we can possess a handgun is like a station owner is allowed to have them for like stock work. But they're in a different league of their own. All right, but as far as handguns go, you can own handgun, but you've got to be a member of a club, and it's just for club shooting, and you've got to like go 6 times a year or something to club shoots to be able to maintain your license. So you're only allowed to use it at the club. So it's very restrictive to what you can do with handguns. So yeah, so of
Yeah,
course when there's
that's crazy to
so
me. It is. It's
yeah
just crazy. But you're talking to a guy that doesn't go to the corner store without a sidearm on him.
yeah
It's just how
yeah
I've been for an extremely, extremely long time, and I probably live in one of the safest towns in the United
yeah.
States. I mean, the crime rate here is like unbelievably low, but also, again, where I came from in Kentucky, the crime rate is unbelievably high. And, it was everything from there'd be shootouts in grocery stores, there'd be shootouts at movie theaters, the gangs are moving further and further out of the city, so it's kind of where you have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best, which is another reason I'm never in any really big hurry to go back home too much. So
Yeah, it's a completely different mindset than what we would have here. Like, it's kind of funny because in the town where I live, like, guns are a nothing thing as such. Like, you can go for a drive downtown with your gun on the dash and no one cares. No one looks at you twice. It's just normal, like it's nothing. G'day, Vulcan Maniac. Thank you. Cheers for joining in. But, like, you can drive around with your firearms in the car here and it doesn't mean anything. No one cares. It's a nothing thing. But, you wouldn't really go too far beyond, though, because you probably people would, like it's kind of, yeah. Obviously, we live in a lot more cliquey sort of country than what you guys are when it comes to those types of things. We don't have those types of. We have no Second Amendment or whatever it is. Like our firearm ownership is a privilege, not a right, in Australia.
Don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah, but that's why it's different,
Yeah, but it's cool learning the differences because, to be honest with you, that was one thing I really wasn't aware of. In my mind's eye, when I'm thinking of Australia, I'm thinking of a lot of open land and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I would think that it would be, something that really wouldn't be an issue, right? So, but. Then again, in the States, we're not as handy with boomerangs as you guys are. So maybe you don't need firearms. Everybody just carries a boomerang and a dungaree, right? You get together and play the dungaree and everything's good to go, man.
Dungaree, the didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo. That's what I call it, a dungaree. The didgeridoo.
But, yeah, and like, on the land that I've got, because it's not very wide, like I couldn't even buy a 22 on my land, right? Get a license for a 22, but I've got a license for a 300 Win Mag because I've got lots of different firearms, of course, which you need like 1,000 odd acres for. But once you own it, I can shoot it on any land that's mine. Like I can shoot it legally on my block here. But I just can't get the license here, but I can shoot it legally here. No worries at all. So it's just such a strange paradox that you just can't work this shit out. Like you can shoot it, but you can't buy it.
Let's see. I'm going to pull up a map of Australia here. I'm going to try and figure out whereabouts you are.
I'll tell you more off air, not on air.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, tell me your exact address.
Yeah. I'm not going to give you any GPS coordinates.
Give me a longitude, latitude.
I don't really care as such, but we went through a violent home invasion, and I just don't want to put anyone through that shit again. That's all. And like this. Like I know that this space is I'm sure it's just fine and whatever, but yeah, I just don't want the grief. I just don't want the shit.
Right. Let's see. So let's get very large. What did you say? Western? Is that what you said?
Yeah, we're obviously in the southwest of Western Australia, so we're in the green bit of Western Australia.
Why can I not blow this map up larger? Lake Gregory? Is there a Lake Gregory? Am I seeing that?
That's a name, a lake that I've heard of, yeah, but I can't remember exactly where it was.
Okay, that tells me right off the bat, I found you. I found you. You live on Lake Gregory. You tried to play it off, man, but I found you. See how good I am at this game, man?
Yeah. It's
Like,
not that hard. Like
we
you
have a
wouldn't have to.
connection, man. I know exactly
You,
where you are.
you wouldn't have to spend too long on the computer to figure it out when I show all the videos that I show. It's not that hard to work it out. But okay, good on you. Fill your boots.
Well, it's good to see your studio still holding up well. It still
Yeah,
looks like you're on an actual farm. So,
it's being
oh,
used
by the
at the
way,
moment.
how's the daughter doing? Did
Yeah,
she
well,
get
that's
off
why it's
safely?
been used. So, like the bed's not made in that because it's actually being used. Yeah, no, they're doing good. Yeah.
They still
But
there with you, or did they?
yeah, going tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I won't say where
Yeah.
they're going or anything about that, but safe travels to them.
Going back to the city, and then a couple of weeks' time heading over to England. I'm not sure whereabouts in England. Mum knows, but I don't know that shit.
Speaking of England, where's that chocolate?
Oh,
Where's she?
I've been told I've got to retire for the night.
Go to bed.
Yeah, well, they want their bedroom back by the sound of it.
Well, tell them, even though you deal with cows all day, a duck says hi.
I will.
And
Yeah,
always, thank you for having me on. I appreciate you letting me come on here and bug you.
Oh, yeah, no, of course. What's that you on the background? A gremlin?
It's an alien.
No wonder I couldn't put my finger on exactly what it was.
Yeah, that's my natural form. That's actually a self-portrait.
Oh, yeah, nice.
When I'm not in my human skin.
Don't tell people that shit, man. It's where all those bodies go missing,
Well, I know I could trust you with my secrets, so it's okay.
Well, thank you very much, Ducky, for I'll call you Ducky. I'll probably get told off for saying that. for ducking in and saying good day.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise I'm just here by myself and with obviously a few people, but I mean by myself on live stream, because Chalk was going to, but she has some friend issues, so just couldn't be around. So that's why it happened. Life's like that. Yeah. Coffee's wearing off.
We'll catch you on the next one, man.
Thank you, Seifu Dad, Milky, and Leon, and Ellie, and El Nani, and Vulcan Maniac. Thank you very much, guys. And of course, thank you to Duck. I'll let him do his thing. Take care.
Quack, motherfuckers. Duck's out of here.
All right, guys. That's the end of that. A different conversation again. There you go. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much for joining and watching. Please give us one of those things and a comment. I like to hear comments. I respond to all comments, but anything at all. It's great. It's wonderful. It's good. All right. Thank you very much. Love yous all. That way. Take care. See you later.